Hey, good evening. I wanted to hop on here and leave a message. It's not a business message tonight, but this is a really important message. And I think you need to hear this. I read a study today done by a very reputable firm, a very reputable study group. And here's what they said. They said that we need to be thinking about something in particular that is not right here in front of our faces during this COVID coronavirus situation. They just did a study about mental health and how people are feeling during this mental health situation. So, what do we need to think about? What do we need to think about here? Looks like my audio is a little off. So, hang on a second here. Let me switch audio. Switching audio. Let's see how this works. All right. Maybe it's not working any better. But anyhow, what's up going on here? So I started talking about what do we need to think about in our relationships? What do we need to think about in society? We need to think about mental health. We need to think about this because anytime you start seeing changes in society happening like what we have going on right now, we see a spike. We see a spike in binge drinking, alcoholism, drug use, suicides. And we're on the very front end of this COVID-19 situation in the grand scheme of things. This is not like the recession of 8, 9, 10, where we saw this build up and build up and build up economically. This thing hit us just like a truck, came out of nowhere. Yes, it took a little bit of buildup overseas, but ultimately what we saw here was this buildup that's enough that is going to impact human beings. And I'm talking about mental health wise. Hey, how are you? So what I want you to think about is, how do you interact with people? Because there's something that causes mental health to increase, and that is social resistance. That is a massive amount of social impact, and we've got all these different things like distancing going on. We have job loss. We have this unemployment, this financial pressure going on with all sorts of people, and then we have medical issues. We have people that are getting sick. We have unknowns. We have frustration because things can't happen in society. Maybe it's that you run out of a particular item that you need and you can't find it. So there's all these different pressures going on. And I just wanted to, I read this study because this study was done by an amazing study group. And it said, how do we get on the front end of this? Well, the way we get on the front end of this, and the study was published today, is we think about it immediately. We look for it immediately. We look for signs and symptoms of mental health, depression, alcoholism, drug abuse, things like that on the front end. And we help people find the escapes that they need in order to have a good exit for their depression. They need to get out of their depression, and some people feel trapped, and the only way out of that is suicide or drug use, alcoholism, things like that. So we need help with that. So that's really what my broadcast is today. It's simply to say, notice and care and act. So let's help each other. When you deal with somebody, don't be a jerk. Think of what's going on in their head. Be kind. Don't fight with them. Don't get frustrated with them. Just be reasonable. And I've been talking about this on and off, but I mean, this survey of well over 1,000 people was the icing on the cake, because only like 28% of these people weren't under severe stress right now. It was the vast majority of them were like, wow, this is bad. So, we can tack stress, we can tack all these problems onto things like heart disease. What's the number one killer in America? I think it's heart disease, and then we've got cancer, which is a lot of these different things are stress induced. But ultimately, we also have suicide. We had a massive amount of suicides during the Great Recession, and a great deal of drug use and alcohol abuse. So that's my thought for you. It's nothing to do with business. It's everything to do with people and caring and being kind and making a difference. So a couple good points on here. Practice kindness to others and yourself. Yes. Stress is a silent killer. You absolutely will. Think about the senior people who are alone always, and even more so now. Loneliness causes a ton of stress also, because people start to they feel like they're stranded. So if you have the opportunity to talk to some older folks, maybe you just call up one of the local areas where, a retirement community or something like that. They're not taking visitors right now because of the coronavirus. But if you call up and say, hey, look, does anybody have like a FaceTime account or Skype or Zoom or whatever? Maybe you can spend 5 or 10 minutes talking to somebody, make their day. So yes, extroverts who normally thrive are struggling right now. Absolutely. Amen to that, Amy. So anyhow, that's what I got for you guys. That is what I got for you guys. Let me put this one up here because this is really good to show. Sheila's thinking about senior people who are alone always, and even more so now. That's right. Totally agree. Let's make a difference with this stuff. Okay. So thanks for listening. Thanks for tolerating my challenge with the audio and the video lining up. But I just wanted to leave that message because I read this. I wanted to share it out. I hadn't gotten the video out today yet. And this one's really important. You're going to hear more about this in the future. I'll keep studying on it. Just remember, this is about community. Community builds, it builds our relationships. It helps us do business. This is what's going to thrive in every aspect when we exit this thing, is how you worked on your community. So think about that. Be kind. Thanks for all you guys do. Love you guys. And I will see you tomorrow. Have a good evening. Bye.